It was kind of by chance. Each year our principal required us to have a professional growth plan, and I was desperate to teach something to the kids, and I told her I'm going to teach them how to do double dutch. And I didn't know anything about jump rope. I didn't even know how to turn the ropes. I would go to after-school program and work with kids to try to figure out how to turn the ropes. And from there, it just kind of took off. When we first started the program, it was a club. And basically, it was primarily ran by the kids. I mean, when I first saw them jump during recess, I thought, wow, these kids are good. And then when I started doing the skills, I kind of got a bigger appreciation of the difficulty of what they were doing. So that changed my perspective a lot. It's an ongoing process. You're constantly learning. The kids are always creating new skills, things that I haven't seen before. It got to a point where I had to go to camp just to try to keep up with the kids. When I first started coaching, it was a lot of, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, do it that way. You know, I was more of a facilitator. And most of the good coaches, that's what they do. They facilitate and then let the kids kind of take over the program and share their skills and knowledge to the younger jumpers.
My elementary school had a jump rope for art team with the American Heart Association, and so we would like travel around and do performances at different schools, and then we went to workshops and camps as well, which is kind of how I realized that jump rope like had a whole other competitive side to it, and there were like other participants across the country that I didn't know about. And so then after that, there weren't any other teams in Louisville at the time, so we started a team at my middle school to keep performing, and then eventually we started competing in high school, and I've just been jumping since then. The typical larger camps that we go to, or that we used to go to, now we kind of like are more like on the staff and directing the camp side, but like when we used to attend as jumpers, so they were typically at college campuses, and we'd get there, so it's like all day jumping, then you end up like doing pin trading or like talking to other jumpers and things until like 10 or 11 at night.
A lot of the teams, they'll have their hairs braided, you know, so that it doesn't flop in their face when they're doing difficult skills. You know, depending on the team, a lot of them almost look like little clones, the way their hair is done and so forth. We do require our kids, you know, to at least keep it away from their face.
Then when you get down to like the older people who've actually stuck with it over the years, like there are like certain personality traits that seem to happen over and over, like playful and like loves games, like that tends to happen, because like when you staff, at least in the jump rope environment, like when you staff camps, like all the college people who are teaching, like when you're preparing for camp for the kids, you like they're like, oh, like let's practice these games, make sure they're fun for the kids, and like the staff usually have just as much fun as the kids do.
Very enthusiastic people.
Yeah, energetic,
excitable.
But they're also like very intense about the sport. So like it's not like other sports where they have like developed like books about, like you can't go to the Barnes and Noble and get a jump rope book, like you can get a basketball book or something. So like those are the people that have to like do that sort of thing. So
yeah, and like you get a lot of diversity in the community just because like, you know, it doesn't have that like mainstream media, I guess, aspect to it. Like so like different teams will definitely like, I don't know, like we have a lot of different regional names for like tricks and stuff like that, and then like that's how areas develop their own style and like what they consider to be kind of like what's right and what's wrong, especially in like competitions. Like, you know, if you want to do good in jump rope, like and rise up like really well, if you put in like the work, you're gonna like know the people. Like it's like, not to say it's not exclusive, because like you do have to be good to get to that top level, but it's like people are very accepting if you like you do the work
or something. So like you want to get to know those other really good people and jump with them, but like you want to beat them
and like learn fun tricks too and stuff.
When I talk to other people about competitive jumping, they still have that idea that it's that old jump rope. You know, one kid's in the middle with two people just turning the rope, and they don't realize the complexity of it all. You know, if they went to a competition, basically it looks like gymnastics with a jump rope. So it's a great experience. You just need to go see what it's about and to see what these kids do. It's amazing.
Shows are also like fun at like certain places because like you tell people, like we did one in front of our high school, and like, you know, we've been like talking about like how we did jump rope for a long time, but it was cool for everyone to see like, oh, like it's actually kind of hard.
Teaching kids is very meaningful because you can like see that you're making a difference. Like even if it's a momentary thing, like you see that kid get really excited when they learn a trick, and like whatever else is going on in their life, like they might have a perfect life or they might have a really rough life, but like they did enjoy that moment and you were able to help them with that. And that's really cool.
I like teaching like the little kids too. Like it's fun just because it's such a low budget sport. Like all you need is like a rope in a parking lot, bare minimum, and like it can be taught. And like kids just really enjoy it. And it's like kind of reminds us like how like what we're doing is like truly unique.
When we were little going to camps, we saw the staff as like this elite team. We're like, oh my gosh, they're all amazing, and like we never thought we would be part of that. But now that we're older, we're like expected to be the ones teaching the younger kids.
I'm trying to pass the torch to other people to carry on our tradition. I still love it, you know, but I'm not involved as much as I've had in the past.
Jumpers do recognize that the sport's small, and in order for it to grow, you have to share it with others. Like you can't be like, oh, that's my competition, I'm not gonna share my tricks with them. Like you have to share your tricks with everyone to expand.
Which I think it's really unique. Like our competitions, like once people like are done jumping for the day or like have a break, they usually like start forming trick circles.
I do love shows because it's like it is fun, the shock factor, like people seeing it for the first time, and it's just another way to spread the sport. Like rather than just teaching, you're still showing people through demonstration, and a lot of people like that's how they get into it. They see a show and they're like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And like I still remember my first staff show that I saw, like going to workshop in fourth grade. That was the first time I saw like actual jump rope other than my team, and my mom was there, and like that's all we talked about in our house for like the next week. We were like, oh my god, did you see those people like do backflips? Like what? That was insane.
I think the first time when we went to nationals, I had a small group, maybe 12 kids, and it was pretty even. It was probably like 8 girls, 4 boys. I can't remember exactly, but we went to Disney. I remember when we qualified for that, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And like I said, I had high expectations. I had one of the youngest teams. We don't take an elementary team to nationals. We were one of the younger teams. And when we got there to Disney and we went to, I guess it was called the Milk House, like on the little marquee they had, welcome Jumpin Jaguars. When I saw that, I said, man, we made it big time. It's big time.